Thank you. So I'm Tsachi from Aspire Global. Aspire Global is in the gaming industry. It's a company that operates more than 10 years already, and I will be happy to share a little bit what Aspire Global are doing and what is our place in the gaming market. Our vision is that everything we do to enable our partners achieve their full potential, and I hope that through this presentation I will be able to present what does that mean, provide our partners and operators to fulfill their full potential. So as I said, Aspire Global is in the gaming industry. You probably know a lot of companies here in Sweden, which is Betsson, Unibet, LeoVegas, Mr. Green, all of those companies. So those companies are operating on a platform. It might be their own platform, because a brand and an operator need to operate on a platform where all the transactions being made. So it's either they're working on their own platform or they are using a third-party platform. We are that third-party platform that some of the companies in the world are using. This is our place, and we have more assets that I will explain further on. So it's a leading platform provider to the iGaming operators. We are providing first-rate turnkey solution. Maybe it's the first time that some of you hear, what is it? Turnkey solution. Turnkey solution means that when we are operating, we are providing our platform to other operators. It doesn't mean that we are providing only the platform. We are providing more services additional to the platform, and this is why it's called full turnkey solution. So the company, the operator that is operating on our platform, they need to do one thing only, and we are doing the rest. They are the one to bring traffic into their own brand on our platform. And Aspire Global provide not only the platform, but also support, agents that are talking to the players, VIP agents, CRM, communication with those players, fraud management, risk management, payment at the end of the day. If the player won, we are paying. So it's enabling companies that are new to the gaming sector, or companies that are already in the gaming sector, but doesn't have a platform and don't know exactly how to operate the day-to-day routine of the business, allow us do it for them. You're probably aware that not all the, there is a thinking that that the casino is all the time winning, the house all the time win. So it's not like this. The majority of the casino companies are losing. It's not that easy to manage a successful casino business. We are here to fulfill the potential of these partners in order not just to generate revenues, but also be profitable. This is the idea of Aspire Global. We have our exclusive content. I will continue. Founded in 2005, so it's not a new company, it's not a startup. We have 153 employees, 79 women, 52% of it. Our offices are in Malta, Ukraine, and Israel. I'm Israeli. The biggest shareholder is Israeli, but most of the company is based in Malta, so I'm living in Malta. This is a screen to show the trend of the casino GGR in Europe. So you can see the growth. It's around 14% growth year over year. Aspire Global, in those years, our average growth is around 20%. So we are growing higher than the average of the market. And for 2018 onwards, the average of the industry will be 7%. When we projected our numbers going forward for the next 3-4 years, we projected it will be double-digit numbers. So we expect to be also here higher than the industry. This is the board of directors. So we have the chairman, Carl Klingberg, also joined us a little bit more than a year ago. Fredrik Burval, the ex-CEO of Cherry, also sitting here. And we have a small stand outside. Fredrik joined us from Cherry, to be a board member. You will see also in some other slides where Fredrik is assisting me in more aspects of the business. Barak Matalon is the founder of the company and the biggest shareholder. Roni Aran, one of the founders of the company, and myself as the CEO. It's not mentioned here, but one of the biggest shareholders that we have in the company is Robur. They have approximately 10% of the company when we IPO'd it a year ago. And we are celebrating a year in 20 days from now. Okay, so to understand where is our target potential market. So any market, also in Sweden, in Germany, in Norway, any market divided to two. Around 70% of the market belongs to the huge companies, to Betsson, Kindred, those kind of companies, depends on the market. And around 30% of the market belongs to the medium players in the market, operators that are holding 30% of the market share. Out of those operators that hold 70% of the market, which are the huge companies, as I said, Kindred, Betsson, Mr. Green, LeoVegas, 80% of them, they have their own platform. 20% don't have their own platform, working on another platform. In the other section, in those 30%, so here we have 80% of the companies working not on their platform. So the green numbers are the numbers that we are targeting. Those are our focus players in the market to have them operate on our platform. We are very much focused. We are not aiming to move Betsson from their platform. We are moving other players in the market. These are our business lines. Aspire Global, the uniqueness of Aspire Global is that we don't have only a platform as an asset. We also have our own proprietary games that we developed throughout the last 10 years. We have more than 200 games. There is a slide about it. So we have our business lines is a platform to give to other operators. We have also our own B2C brand, Caramba. It's the biggest one. So we are operating also our own brand. It's important for us because that means that we are all the time in the forefront of the innovation, knowledge, and know how to manage the players because we have also one of our own. And an additional asset that we are going to commercialize is the games that we have. Right now, our own games, we are offering it only to our brands that are operating on our platform. We are now trying to sell those games outside of our platform. So it's additional income that we didn't have until now. Those are the regulated market. Aspire Global is a very much regulated market. We have licenses in 6 different jurisdictions. It's much more than any average company that you are familiar with. Those are part of the countries that we have a license over there. We are soon also going to have the license of Sweden. We are currently working in Sweden, but the re-regulation is going to start in 4 or 5 months from now. We are applying for the license as well. As part of our history of working mainly in a regulated market, there is one small thing which is very big, responsible gaming. Responsible gaming is a very high phrase recently in Sweden, but for Aspire Global, it's not new. As a company that already operates in a lot of local regulations already, we already implemented the responsible gaming and the way we act with players way back, 5, 6 years ago. So this is in our core, and it's not new to us for the upcoming Sweden regulation. Those are the numbers for Aspire Global in Q1. So 18 million euro, a little bit more than 18 million euro in revenues, 14% year over year from Q1 2017. Almost 3 million in EBITDA. The B2B revenue was up 24%, so the B2B is growing faster than the B2C. EBITDA margin of 15%, and this is the amount of new depositing players that came to the system. So B2B is a big part of our business. And as well, we took a bond. It was a little bit less than 2 months ago. We took a bond of 27.5 under a phrase of 80 million in order for Aspire Global not to grow only organically. This is the growth that I will show you soon. It's only organically, but also through M&A. And as I mentioned before, Fredrik Burval, which has an experience of around, I think, 11 or 12 acquisitions in Cherry in only 3 years, when he's assisting me with the targeted M&As that we have on the table, it's bring me the ability to handle M&As, not like a fresh guy. So it's adding a lot of value to Aspire Global from our future M&As. Some operational updates. So everything that I mentioned to you with the platform and the solution that we have currently, it's only on casino. We now entered 2 months ago to the biggest vertical in the world, which is sport. So imagine that we were the only one or the main player in the market which provide platform with full turnkey. We are now the first in the world to provide platform with turnkey solution for sport. So this is a new vertical that we started 2 months ago. In my Q1 report, I mentioned that on the first month of sport, Aspire Global, the sport volume of the sport was already 9% of the B2C, which is very high for the first months. Aller Media. So as you understand with the solution of Aspire Global, where we provide platform with additional services, companies that have the ability to drive traffic find us the most attractive solution for them to go on gaming. So we have an example for that in Portugal. A year ago, we signed Cofina Media, which is the biggest media house in Portugal. We are the one to provide them with our platform and solution. It's the biggest media company there. It's a public company. And I'm glad that we signed 2 months ago Aller Media, and they're about to go live tomorrow with soft launch. Aller Media is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, media house in the Nordics. And we are launching their brands first in Denmark. So this is something that companies, media houses, when a regulated market comes, those media houses, which they have a decline trend of revenues because the printing is a little bit lower and all of the business line is a little bit less profitable than before, the regulation is a savior for those media houses, and we are within this gaming sector in the regulated market, we are a perfect match for those media houses. So we have several marketing media houses in hand. Aller is going to be a big one, expected to be. These are the games that we have. So we have more than 200 games that we developed. Those games are important for us because imagine that we don't need to pay a lot of money to third-party games, to NetEnt, Evolution. So we have those content in our platform, which is good. But we have also our own, which is representing around 20-30% of the revenues. So you understand that we are not paying those 20-30% bets to anyone because it's our own. It's giving us the ability to maintain profitability. This is the game bot, Karamba bot. This is a unique solution that we added to Karamba. Karamba is our B2C, and we added the sport vertical. So also with Karamba, we did it with a style. We added a unique feature which does not exist in any other operator in the world, which is a bet recommendation tool. So you can find it in Karamba homepage, and soon with all the B2B partners that are going to launch sport, we'll have this unique tool to assist players with the bet that they're about to do. Some financial updates. So when I say companies, it's companies that have that are operators. So this is the evolution of the companies that are operating on the Aspire Global platform. We currently have 36 companies already live. We have 3-4 more that are about to go live during the coming weeks and months, but already 36 companies. So it's a growing trend, more and more companies enjoying the Aspire platform. When I'm looking into the 12 months rolling revenue and profit trend from Q1 2017 So we can see that the business is growing. We ended 2017 with almost 72 million. And when we take the full 12 months from Q1 2018, so we see that it's a growing trend of revenue. And also with the EBITDA, Aspire Global was a profitable company from day 2. This is what I mentioned also when we went IPO. It's not a usual thing when a company is going public and they are profitable. I'm proud to say that Aspire Global, right after launch 10, 12 years ago, we succeeded being profitable, and from then on, we make sure that the growth is all the time with profitable. We cannot take it one on account on the another. So this is currently for the last 12 months rolling. I also mentioned when I released Q1 report how April is performing. So April is performing with 60% increase in revenue year over year from April last year, and 33% increase from the average monthly of Q1 2018. So it was a good start for Q2. I cannot elaborate what happens after, of course. This is the growing cash position that we have. So we start a quarter with cash in hand, and also from the operation, it's all the time generating cash. So we ended Q1 with more than 14 million euro cash in hand from operations. Of course, we have also the bond with 27.5 and under a frame of 80. So you can imagine what we can do with this cash going forward. When I'm taking the targets of Aspire Global to 2020, 2.5 years from now, so we expect to be on around 120 million in revenues. We put this slide as organic growth. If we will do it unorganically, and we will add the acquisitions, so it will be on top of that. But this is what we expect to be organically, 120 million in revenues, and to be at least 15% in EBITDA. One of you that will go to our historically report will see that we had around 20% EBITDA margin for the last few years, at least 20%, if not more. So why I mentioned 15%? Mainly because we are entering more and more regulated market. If Sweden, for example, right now, their chunk of revenues in Aspire Global, we are not paying the gaming duties that we are about to pay from January 1st. So this is calculated into the EBITDA margin going forward, since the moment Sweden will be regulated. And also I'm taking into consideration Netherlands. We are active in the Netherlands. And when it will be regulated, we already calculated our total EBITDA margin, considering those two markets as regulated market. Here you see the trend of the years of the revenues. Focus ahead. So we just launched Sport 2 months ago with Caramba. We launched it in Nossa Aposta, in our Portuguese brand in Portugal. And as you remember, the one of you that are football fans, Portugal is the champion of the European tournament 2 years ago. So it's excited what is going to be in Portugal in the World Cup. And we have also Goliath Casino. Those 3 brands are live with Sportbook for the World Cup. Goliath Casino is one of the partners that we added 4 months ago, is from the executive marketing position in Leo Vegas, went out of Leo Vegas, gathered investors and opened a brand with Aspire Global, already live 3 months, 4 months, and in casino and in sport. So he's already live for the World Cup. So we have 3 brands. Bond, so we are looking for M&As, and Aller Media, their brand is going to be live tomorrow. And of course, we are preparing ourselves for the Swedish regulation, which is about to start in January 2019. We are now waiting for the last technical requirements from the regulator in order to prepare the platform for that. right on time.
Thank you, Tsachi. If you come over here to the question corner, and I remind everyone, if you do have a question, please raise your hand and you will get an opportunity to pose a question. And if you're embarrassed about your English, don't worry, post it in Swedish and I will do my best to translate. I think the camera guy wants to come a bit closer to me in this corner, so all the viewers at home can see you. So I'm standing over here. I'll pose the first question. You do have plans for your M&A, what type of companies you want to acquire. Can you expand a little bit on that?
Yes. We are thinking to grab more share in the regulated markets. So we have few targets, potential targets that we are looking at. It can be either operators that are working on another platform and they have big market share in any of the regulated market. So this is one of the companies, one of the targets that we are looking at to grow more in regulated markets. As I showed in the business lines, we have this additional asset of our own games. So we are thinking maybe to add another games provider and then to have a stronger commercial approach to the market with our games. So those are the potential M&As that we are looking at.
Any questions from the audience? One over there. Yeah.
I think I understood. I'm already a year in Sweden, visited 40 times. I think I understood.
But just to be, let me just repeat the question for the viewers at home. What is the revenue split between B2C and B2B, and what do you envision that to be in 2020? That was the question, right? Yeah.
So a year ago, the B2C was around 53%, and the B2B 47%. And in the last report, it was 53% in the B2B, 47% in the B2C. What we expect 2 years from now, it's that the B2B will be around 60% and more of the business, and the B2C will be accordingly. And of course, it's important for us still to have a strong B2C, because this will allow us to manage better the B2B.
Further questions? No? Then I'll take one. You recently did a reorganization of your B2C business. Can you give us the background to that and what you were hoping to achieve? And have you achieved that?
Yes.
Or is it too early to tell, perhaps?
One of the Aspire Global are holding a strategic meeting every year at the end of the year, where we are talking about the next 3, 4, 5 years. So in the last meeting that we had at November, we said, okay, it's a B2B company, but still we have a strong B2C. But the B2C management was part of the overall company. So in order to gain focus on the B2C, so managers and employees that are working in the B2C will wake up in the morning and will not think Aspire Global, will think, caramba, we decided to have a managing director. We allocated one of the VPs, and he is the one to lead the B2C. And we believe that through this focus, it will gain faster the revenues for the B2C.
Yeah. Is that a setup that makes it easier for you to acquire operators further down the line?
Sure.
Yeah. Questions from the audience? Yep, one over there. Let me repeat the question. What do you consider to be your competitive advantages for your platform? Was that the question? Yeah.
There are a lot. One, it's not a new platform. Most of our competition that maybe some of you are familiar with, if it's Every Matrix, Gaming Innovation Group, and others, they are in the market as a platform between 3, 4 years to 7 years. We are here more than 10 years, so we have the understanding of the market, the platform, have a lot of scars on ourselves, which allow us to be much more stable and much more strong with the operators that we are serving. This is one thing. So we have more experience. Second, we are the only one with so many licenses. An operator that thinks to work in Denmark cannot work with Gaming Innovation Group. An operator that wants to work in Italy cannot work with Every Matrix. We have 6 local regulations. Our competition have between 2 to 3. So this is another advantage. Third, but not least, is the games. We have our proprietary games, more than 200. We are able to provide the operators that working with us unique approach to the market. They will not find our games in anywhere. But all the games that other platforms serve, we have it as well because we are integrated to all the games providers. But we have additional 200 that nobody else have. So those are just 3.
A clarification that the license to operate in regulated markets, that's held by you as a platform, not the operator facing the consumer.
Yes, it depends in the market, but in most markets it's on our license. This is why the time to market to operators is fast. Aller Media, if they were going to another platform, so they need now to deal with compliance, with platform certifications, with all the process, and they wanted to go live very fast. So this is one thing. In some markets, like in Portugal, we are operating under our partner license. So he is the license holder, is so big that he wanted his license over there. So in most of the markets, it's our license.
Okay. Further questions?
Okay, so the pricing model, it's a good point.
Yeah, okay, I'll repeat the second question, because I didn't get the first one. You have to repeat that later. But the revenue split between you and Aller Media in that type of cooperation, how does that look?
So I will answer not specifically to Aller Media, but as a general answer for the pricing model. It's another differentiation from other platforms. So our revenues comes from the share of between 15 to 25% of the net gaming revenue of the income, not GGR, income at the end of the month for our partner. We are taking our share out of it. So this is another comfort zone for our operators. They know that we are taking our share from their income and not like other platforms that takes their share from the GGR, from transactions of the games, from transactions of deposit, because those transactions are not income. We are sacrificing our share because we are confident that we will provide revenues to our partner. We are confident enough to do it. This is for the first question. Second question?
The first question, can you repeat that?
So the hold, just to say what is a hold, so everybody will be on the same page. Hold is the ratio between the net gaming revenue, the actual income, with the deposit. The average in the market is around 25, 30, 35% net to deposit. Aspire Global's hold is around 50% to 55%. It's one of the highest in the industry. We have a lot of unique CRM tools and communication with the players in order to make sure that our partner have more NGR than the other operators in the market. So it's an advantage to have higher ratio of hold.
That's great. Sadly, we are out of time. If you have any further questions for Tsachi, he will be available outside in the company's corner. We will take about a 10-minute break from here, and when we come back, we will be hearing a presentation from Net Gaming Europe and CEO Markus Teilmann. Thank you very much, Tsachi.
Thank you.